Africans, stop.
Yeah.
Africans, stop.
We should learn to
Stop
confront our
dating
problems.
in the diaspora and going back home to take a wife. When you want to have fun in the diaspora, you have fun with the ladies in the diaspora. When you want to take a wife, you go back home to take a wife from your home country. The wives you have in your home country, they are not the best. They are not better than the ones in the diaspora. If you leave the ones in the diaspora because you think they are doing hookup or they are doing street job, I assure you, the ones you have back home are worst. The devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Take that, do with it what you think is right. Ladies, if you think what I've said is correct, ladies in the diaspora, drop a comment. If you think I'm wrong, guys, drop a comment. Let's So guys, welcome back to my podcast. Today I have another guest in the house to help us unpack some facts. Bro, I have a question for you.
Okay.
A lot of guys moving to the diaspora. When they move, the ladies they meet in the diaspora, they start to date them. Maybe for fun, or for pleasure, or to spend their time. But we've observed that whenever they want to get married, they go back to their home country. I want to know why.
It's very hard to actually answer. There are so many reasons that come off my mind. But let's just say the ones that I know of, most of them has to do with a cultural and tribal background. That's the first thing that comes to mind. Cultural and tribal background.
Okay.
We have men who are tied to their families and tied to their cultural backgrounds that they must. I'm sure you know of such men that regardless of what they do, regardless of where they end up, they have to come back home and marry. And men don't tell the truth.
Okay.
Yes. So they meet ladies and then, well, it starts at all fun and it starts getting serious and then they want to marry. And no man wants to cut ties with their families. Women easily cut ties with their family than men. And then they have no choice but to go back home. That's the first thing that comes to mind. The cultural and the tribal attachment of men with their families back home. And the second thing is religion.
Okay.
Let's just take Dubai, for example. Dubai is predominantly a Muslim country. And then, well, since they've made some allowances for other religions to practice freely here, you may end up with someone and you may never know the religion he or she is. We have people who are dressing as Muslims because of their work and their job designation. You may never know they are not Muslims. And then the time comes for you to want to get serious and you find out that the person has no Islamic background. That's one reason why a man will be like, no, I can't marry. You have to go back home. I mean, every Muslim wants to marry a virtuous woman. And most families would help find that virtuous woman. And they believe that the only way you can find that person is if you come back home. That's another thing. And then one thing is fake promises. fake promises, you know.
But you already know that this lady does not fit into your religion. So why keep moving? Why do you keep the promise? Why you keep her? It's better for you to say, I know she's not in my religion, she's not according to what I want, and then you just let her go. So why keep her? And then at the end of the day, you disappoint her.
That's a tough question. One, see, men would want to keep milking the cow till the cow gets dried.
Okay.
Well, it's a mentality that if it's not broken, don't fix it.
Yeah.
So until the woman leaves, a man will keep tolerating you, provided he's getting what he wants from you. And he knows deep within him that he's not going to end up with you. But I mean, you are here. You can as well be with me till I'm ready. And it all boils down to the lies and the fake promises men make. Men find it difficult to pull away from certain things as women do. A woman can just walk away and not look back. Men don't. So I think men, we should also change our mindset and change how we do our things. If not, we would end up destroying lives and wasting people's times.
Because you see, guys moving from their country to Dubai, for example, okay, since we're in Dubai, when they move in, they have a girlfriend back home.
Yes.
Or they have a fiance or however, whatever they have, that they've promised that I'm going to come back and marry you. Okay? And then when they move here, they start to work, they get some money, and they need these ladies for time pass.
Yes.
To have fun.
Yes.
And then at the end of the day, after wasting this lady's time, she thinks you're serious with her, not knowing that you're not serious with her and you have another person at heart. And then you just leave her and then you go back to your country to marry a wife. And that is why all over in Dubai, they're saying there's no love in Dubai.
But then what if it's also the opposite?
No, in
What
most
if-
cases, in most cases, it's not the opposite way. In most
No.
cases, it's not the opposite way. In most
Okay.
cases, it's the guys that are doing this.
But then what if you find yourself in the opposite case, where a woman is just having fun with you?
Yeah, but it's in rare cases.
Oh, it actually
In rare
exists.
cases, but in most cases, guys are just coming, have the ladies have fun with them, and then they will just move ahead. When they want to get married, they go back to their country. So my question is, if a man knows that he's going to get a lady for fun and then drop her and go back to his country, why not your girlfriend you kept back home that you plan to get married to, when you move here, bring her with you and spend the time so you can get married there instead of wasting people's time and then going back to your country to
That's
get
true.
married
That's
to your
true.
girlfriend.
But let's be realistic here. How many African men are able to afford to live with a second person in this country?
Yes, but they are affording to live with these girls that they are getting and keeping here, and this is for time pass.
Well, that's the hypocrisy part of it.
Yeah.
When you are going to bring your girlfriend or your promised person you'd want to be with,
yeah,
there's so much involved, there's so much cost involved. It's actually really easy to have someone who has already taken her own initiative to come here, already surviving. So for most men, it's like a hot cake, readily available. Why then would I have to now save up for so many months to bring you here and now have to help you to find a job, all because I want to be with you? Not to say I do that though, but I'm just trying to let's understand how men think and understand from a man's point of view.
Okay. How does a man think?
The one who is here and available will do the job. Even though deep within you, you know it's not that person. I think if we can understand and if we can talk about it honestly, the women who would want to stay in such an arrangement will stay. And those who would not want to would leave. But like I said, men are liars.
Yeah, because you see, men, a man that is thinking that, okay, let me make use of, instead of bringing the one I have back home, it's going to be more expensive. Let me make use of the one that is available for me. That one available for you. Remember that somebody found that movement.
Exactly.
Somebody has paid the price of making sure that she find a job. Somebody has kept her in that situation that you find her. So if you want to be with her, it is better that you just say, this is my intention.
Yes, it's better to come out front. Yes.
Because you discover that she has a job and then you don't need to spend all that money to have a woman. Some other guys also, they do this because they date and keep these ladies because they don't want to keep prostitute. Prostitute is expensive. But I had a conversation with some certain guys and they told me that the reason why they don't marry these ladies is that most of the ladies, 80 to 90% of them, they do hookup. That's what they call hookup, okay? Or street walk. So due to this street walk, they think that they don't want to marry them, the ones here, the ones in the diaspora. They don't want to marry the ones in the diaspora because the ones in the diaspora do hookup, okay? So when they want to get married, when they want to have fun, they can have fun with the ones in the diaspora. But once they want to get married, they like to go back home to get married. What do you think about that?
I have heard that too. I wouldn't say I agree with them, but to some extent, I mean, we hear rumors and we hear things that happen. Let's just say Dubai, because this is where we are now.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening in other places, but let's just say Dubai. A lot of ladies, not all, a lot of them come here with a single mindset to make money off men. It could be, as you said, hookups. It could also be targeting certain specific people. Then they latch like leeches and then they suck you dry. People come here purposefully with that mindset. We see a lot of them. Like I've heard a lot of them. You ask them, what are you coming to do in Dubai? And they can't really tell you exactly what they are here. But from the conversation, you know that they are just looking for one innocent person who will just try and, oh, hi, how are you? Try to help out. And then they latch on you and then everything will go. So for men to think that way, you can't blame them.
Yeah.
It's not supposed to be so. Let's agree that it's not appropriate. It's not right for men to do what they do to women here, because you can't say all women in Dubai are bad. No. But if women change attitude, if women stop doing certain things, men will stop seeing them the way they do.
If women stop doing certain things, like what?
Example, like you said, street walking and hookup and all that. I know of people who have day jobs, but then they do that at night, for extra income.
Okay.
If a whole bunch of them decide to stop doing it, men would also stop having that perception, because now it's very difficult. You can meet someone who look highly reputable, like looks very good, and then looks like, oh, this person works in an office, she has a white collar job, and then you'd want to get closer, and then later you realize that every evening she has an event. And then you find out that she's doing that. You get detached. The next person you see who looks very presentable, you have trust issues.
Correct.
That's how it starts.
Yeah.
And stories keep going around. I heard this, I heard that, I heard this. And then our mindsets have changed. So now you meet a genuine person, you can't even differentiate if this person is genuine or this person is pretending to be genuine. So that's one thing.
But also, when guys are thinking this way, that the ladies are doing hookup, the ones in the diaspora are doing hookup, 80% of them. Okay? And then because of that, you want to go back home to get married to the ones back home. I tell you, if you go back home, the ladies back home, the ones that are doing hookup are more.
Exactly.
The one that you left back home that you think you're dating, the one that you kept, and you say, this is my girlfriend I kept back home, and I want to marry that one. I tell you, that same lady that you kept back home, a lot of guys are on her. A lot of guys are on her.
That's true.
Most of those ladies we are leaving back home to move to the diaspora also, their major occupation is hookup also back home. So if you leave the one that is already established, the one that has a good job here, the one that is already giving you the joy and the happiness that you need, and then you say, I want to go back home to take the ones back home, or the one I left back home because the one here is doing hookup, I tell you, the one you left back home is completely finished already.
I still believe there are good women in Dubai. I still believe.
Yes, there are a lot.
It's just that Africans, we have, for far too long, we have stained our names here.
Okay.
I would want to generalize it because I don't want to be specific to this country or this country. But let's just say Africans, for a while now in Dubai, we have reduced our values here. We have.
But not only Africans that are doing hookup.
I know, we're Africans. So let's talk about Africa for now.
Otherwise, a lot of.
I know. But let's be honest. For far too long, if Africans could just change the narrative, start going after women, of course, start going after bigger positions. One thing, not to deviate from the topic, but one thing I realize is West Africans who come here are too comfortable.
How do you mean?
The ladies. When they come, what they came to get in. Example, they come as an office assistant or an office girl, and your salary is 1,300. A person can stay in that for 5 years.
In 1,300?
Yes.
Okay.
And there's nothing that will trigger her to move.
Correct.
No urge to even take up management. No urge to even climb up. See how the Indians do their stuff. When they come very low, but they are pushing to go up.
Correct.
They will do whatever it takes, even if to draw you out, even if to get you fired, to take up a position, they will do. But Africans, West Africans, women, when they come, they get so comfortable.
No, it's not about West Africans. It's about Africans generally. I'll tell you why I say Africans generally. On my live, I had a live stream a few days ago, and on that live, maybe you were on that live also.
Yeah, I think I saw it.
I had a lot of African girls that was on that live, East Africans.
Yes.
And they were so comfortable with taking their salary, going back home to build a house. They don't care to develop themselves. They don't care to start a business in the UAE. They just take their salary, go to Africa, go back to Africa, build a house for their mother, build a house for their father, and stay there. And after that, they come back, they get married. That is all they are thinking of.
So, you see.
So they already get comfortable. So it's not about West Africa. It's about Africans generally.
Okay, so let's say Africans.
Yeah.
For me, personally, I'm never comfortable. Yeah. I'm always looking for ways to climb up.
Correct.
I'm always looking for ways to climb up, to get up there. And if Africans are all doing that, we will take up big positions, the narrative will change. They have a different perspective of Africans. Now,
so there will be no need for hookup.
Yes, there will be no need. If I'm not saying there should be bias in the system, but there's a healthy bias we all need as Africans.
Yeah.
We have certain nationalities I can't mention who have hijacked recruitment in this country.
Yeah.
Who have hijacked even to rent a house in this place. Yeah. If you are not in their group, you are not getting it.
Yes.
For how long would we be at the bottom? If we complain that Europeans are biased against us and racist against us, and we are here also complaining that Middle Eastern people are also biased against us, what are we doing?
No, everybody cannot be biased against you. If everybody's biased
then you have a problem. Yes. So we are too comfortable. That is one point to solve this problem. If women are pushing, and they are pushing to get to higher places, they are pushing to be on top, they are pushing to be supervisors, they are pushing to be in charge, they are trying to change the narrative. Men will also start thinking differently. That's what I think, though. I don't know, maybe you may not agree with me.
But there are ladies in the diaspora that have pushed and they are up there.
Yes.
And they are doing legitimate jobs.
Yes.
Working very hard.
Yes.
Good career. And the men that they are dating still left them and went back to Africa to pick a village girl to marry. There are situations like that a lot.
We have problems. Men have
And
problems.
then when you ask them, they will say, I think that the lady, because she's up there, she will not give me the respect that I want if I marry her.
That comes from ignorance, illiteracy, and low self-esteem, then finally insecurity.
Yeah. So all these are bundles that will be found in a man.
In a man.
Okay, that will make you think that way.
Yes. Then all these four things is doing you. Your matter is finished.
Yeah.
You will see gold walk past, and then you will step on it because you are insecure, because you have low self-esteem, because you think you are not worth it. This person hasn't complained ever. As high as she is, she's doing everything for you to make you happy, and you still feel like she will not respect you. I respect you, good job.
The fact is that in most cases, when these ladies that have high career ladies, when they marry a guy that is not up to that point, they are never going to be humble. They are never going to respect.
But then as a man, you have to also match up. Education may be low, but there are things you can do that a woman would always see you and submit. Sometimes men, like I said, should also not get too comfortable with women who are up there.
Yeah.
Maybe in the dating stage or in the relationship stage, she is higher than you, she's earning more than you. You have to think smart. That's where your business, if you are not educated or your education level is not so far, that's where your business and entrepreneurial skills should come up. You have someone who will hold your hands to throw you up. Men should also start pushing forward. That's how you match up with women who are career women of high. For me, I find them really attractive, seriously.
Career women.
Yes, right from school. Like when I see a woman who is controlling stuff, oh goodness. Because if that woman loves you, what will she not do for you to also go up or even above her?
Yeah, but as she's doing whatever she's doing for you to push you up there, also understand that as she's pushing you up there, according to experience that guys we've seen, you are still going to be having problems.
True. So in as much as you would want or you are with someone who is high up there, the person should be teachable.
Yeah, correct.
The person should be able to learn and adjust with you. Women don't know how to handle power.
That is the problem.
They don't know how to handle power. The worst thing you can have is a woman boss.
Correct.
Yes. So as a man, you should be patient enough. So imagine as a man, you have all these 4 negative characteristics and you also have ego.
That's a bigger problem.
So you can't be patient to understand that it is a tendency for a woman to be slightly cheeky when she's controlling things. If you don't have that understanding, then you always fight because you demand respect. And you don't have to demand respect. There's how you carry yourself that
Of course,
it would come. Yes, it would come naturally.
If you demand it, you will not get it.
There's a breaking point to do.
Yeah.
And there's a line that shouldn't be crossed. But let's be honest. I think there is no matter which is too hard that we use knife to cut. It's this mouth that we use to talk.
Yes, correct.
So as a man, you should be able to be patient enough to understand and to handle things in such a way that even though she has offended you, she will still come back and then we'll talk about it and everything will be cleared. Back to the what we started with, women behaving the way they do in Dubai. Yeah. I still stand.
Not only Dubai, in the diaspora,
yes,
the whole of diaspora.
I still stand on that same point. Women should not get comfortable. Women should not get comfortable. And let's be honest, the reason why you came here is because of women.
Yeah.
Our whole life struggle as a man to get money. It's woman.
Yeah.
So if as a woman you are comfortable down there, a man would also feel okay with mediocrity. And if you get me, the little I have, I know is enough for the person who is down there who doesn't want to rise. So I'm okay. So your pushing for success would indirectly also push me for success. And then this whole narrative will change about hookup. I mean, you can't completely stop hookup. It will still happen. You can treat someone very, very, very well. If she will do it. But at least we have people who have ears who will listen.
Correct.
Yeah.
So me as a person, I'm a strong advocate of guys in the diaspora.
Mm.
I'm a strong advocate of guys in the diaspora getting married to the ladies they are dating in the diaspora.
Yes, perfectly.
My reason is very simple. Number one, the ladies back home, whatever you think that the ladies in diaspora they are doing,
Probably doing
the
worse.
ladies back home are doing worse.
Mm.
I used to have a friend
Mhm.
that was working, those days when we were working, you know. And my friend, when he earns his salary, he gives his salary to send his salary immediately to the lady back home, his girlfriend he had back home that he planned to get married to.
Mm.
And whenever he sent that money, after a few days, the lady will call and say, there's no money. Okay? He's paying fees for this lady. He's feeding the lady. This lady's in university, is paying the rent.
Mm.
And the friends of this guy were always telling the lady, my friend, that this guy had a lot of boyfriend in the university.
Mm.
One day, my friend paid this lady a surprise visit. And I tell you that as my friend came,
Mhm.
he switched off the girl's phone. He was in the house with the girl. More than 3 guys came to fight in 3 different intervals.
Mm.
You know the way the apartment is in the campus. He switched off the girl's phone. He just wanted to spend some time with the lady.
Mm.
They were in the room. Another one guy will come.
Why is your phone off?
Why is your phone off, babe? Why is your phone off?
Mm.
And after that argument, the guy will get angry and go. Another boyfriend will come, and another boyfriend will come. You see the kind of situation.
Mhm.
And then that is a lady that a man left back home, struggling in the UAE to go back and marry. If he has already caught 3 guys within 1 day or 2 days he has been there,
Yeah.
just imagine what the lady has been doing. That is number one reason why I don't advise guys to go and get wife from their home country. Number 2, the ladies that are taken from home to the diaspora, in most cases, they cause serious problems for those guys when they get there.
Oh yes.
You see a lady that will take from the village, for example, and take to Europe or to America or to the UAE. Once it gets here, you are in trouble. Every day she wants to fight. Now she knows her right. The right that she has not known in her country. For many years she was there. Her father don't know his right. Her mother don't know her right. She don't know her right.
Yes.
She has been dating all the guys she has been dating until you got married to her. She don't know her right. Now you bring her to the diaspora. Every day she knows her right. And at the end of the day, she will put you in a very big problem. What do you think about such situation?
Oh yes, we have so many stories. In Ghana, people have gone mad.
Because of this situation.
People have committed suicide. Personally, I always used to tell my mom that I'm never going to marry a white woman. And she was like, so whenever you travel, I mean, as a student, I used to have conferences I traveled to outside the country. And then she'd be like, so are you going to marry a white woman? I'm like, oh, no. I'll marry a Ghanaian though. And she was like, you're coming to take somebody from here when you travel? It's like, no. It's always better to meet someone on an equal play field than to move from where you are, to come down and come and pick someone. They have their own ideas. They have their own perceptions.
Yeah.
Some of them greed. We heard stories, people who traveled and sent their wives to Europe. You know how when a woman complains against you and she has the slightest of evidence against you,
you're in trouble.
You lose your entire home.
Yes.
You lose your properties. You lose your vehicles.
Yeah.
And men have become homeless. In the streets of Europe, we hear so many stories because they decided to get married to someone from back home. In the Ghanaian culture, perception of marriage, there is this saying that as you are going to marriage, whatever property you find, bring it back home. Whatever debt you have, give it to your husband. And children are taught that. I personally heard that growing up. Usually they teach that to women. There is a sect in the Ghanaian culture that are matrilineal.
So marriage is now a means of escaping poverty.
Yes.
So
and let's be honest, it is. It's not hidden. It's not actually hidden. It is.
Marriage is a poverty and evasion
yes.
Now.
So they say that in the Akan dialect, our arena okono se unya adi afebri fie unya busi afama ukunu, meaning whatever property you get from the marriage, bring it back home. Whatever debt or whatever liability sent to your husband. That is basically the mentality. So imagine someone who grew up in a rural setting with this mentality, who had faced hardship and faced some sort of abuse one way or the other, and then you get married to such a person. I don't have
Yeah, it's true.
The way they'll show you Pepe, that you realize that this is not the same person I knew from back home. And some of them come to diaspora with they have their own laid down plans.
Yes.
They know how they're going to finish you as a man. And some of them, okay, the Ghanaian way of life is not sudden, as you hear of Nigerians where they do something big. Ghanaian way of life is slowly. They peck at you slowly. That's what makes Ghanaians dangerous.
Get you down.
Oh yes, but they peck at you slowly for years. I mean, at least, well, like I always tell my friends, Nigerians, what you see is what you get.
Yes. Before you go into it, you already see it.
Yes, but already. For the Ghanaian, they peck at you slowly. There's a saying that the insect that bites you is in your cloth.
Yeah.
So it pecks at you slowly. And some of them, they know what they are doing.
Yes.
It's a deliberate thing. And the worst advisors are the mother-in-laws. Not to say all mother-in-laws are bad, but it's something that... So I agree with you. The person who you've met here, nobody is an angel.
Yes.
Nobody has a perfect background.
Yeah.
You met someone here, you've had a proper relationship for a long time, you build trust. That trust wipes away the background of the person. The same trust she has in you wipes out your background. Yeah. You start a clean slate. That is the person you should be with.
Yes.
Not someone who they have arranged for you, or say someone who you have promised to marry. The day you left, the following day, another guy came.
Of course, you will not, if you stay in the diaspora for 1 year, for 2 years, for 3 years, she will just stay there without doing anything. She will not go to any man.
So I agree with you. But I also think men should be vigilant, and men should at least dig deeper before they make a choice to who they should be with in the diaspora.
You see these ladies, they can cover anything.
Yeah, I know, right? Packaging.
Ladies, they can cover anything. They can really cover anything that you will not. So there's no point digging. You can dig for 10 years. If a lady don't want you to see, you will not see.
So bro, either ways we are disadvantaged.
No, we are not. The problem is that we are not thinking right. As far as I'm concerned, we're not.
How so?
Right. Africans in the diaspora, or the guys in the diaspora, they're not thinking the right way. You thinking that you're going to go to your village to take a wife is a wrong way of thinking.
Exactly.
If you are in the diaspora and you want to take a wife, it will be better for you to take the one that you've seen here, because the lady that's already in the diaspora, okay, let's assume that a lady that have lived in the UK for 5 years, okay, and then she gets married to you, she's not interested in kicking you out of the house, because whatever you are looking for, whatever you have, she already has also.
Yes.
Whatever money that she's hoping to get from you to send to her parents,
she already does that.
She already sent already. Do you understand?
That's true.
So there's nothing she's looking out to get from you when she kicks you out of the house.
Okay.
Do you understand? So at that point, she really needs a husband.
Okay.
But the one that is just coming, will feel that now I'm just coming, I need to explore. I need to see a lot of things. I need to do this. I need to make money very fast. I need to build a house. I need to do this, And then when she looks at it, that if she continue living with you as a wife, she's going to be limited. Do you understand?
Yeah.
She's going to think that you are going to limit her. Of course, the next calculation she will do is look for a way to meet all these friends, and they will give her 1 or 2 strategy to kick you out, and that is it. So it is really better to marry the ladies that are seen in the diaspora instead of going back home to take a wife.
That's true. So on that same topic here, I perfectly agree with you, because what you are seeing is way better than what you have not seen yet. And sometimes the pressure they get from their families and friends when they travel. Even as a man, the first time you left your country, you hear some things that your friends tell you. Find a white lady, do this, find money. I'm sure you might have heard some of these things before.
People do say that.
Be like, so imagine a woman who already has a tendency of sweet things, the tendency of enjoying good things. The moment she comes in, you become a target for distraction.
Yeah.
And then they keep pecking away. I always continue to say this. They keep pecking at you slowly until they get down. Yes, until you can't even stand, and then they clear you out of the way. If you are left alive, then you are lucky. Some people don't make it.
Yeah.
Some would go and have hypertension back home and die. There are 2 stories I want to share. The first one is an old man of about 70 years who has spent so many years in, is it Germany or Italy somewhere? he met a random Ghanaian lady who was homeless with 4 kids.
With 4 kids
4
already.
kids wanted to help her. The lady beat him. The videos were trending.
Beat the guy.
Beat the old man.
The old man.
Yes.
The lady, the old lady's older or
Oh no, the lady
older?
is a young lady, and all the 4 kids have different dads.
That's already a red flag.
Exactly.
So why did the man
exactly? So there are 2 things.
What's that?
Was it out of benevolence? Was it out of goodwill, or it was because of that one thing that you needed that made you carry this burden? Now the man has lost his house, his home. But I hear in Belgium, I hear the Ghanaian community are trying to solve the issue and the police had come in, but the video training was very bad. And as the woman was beating the man, the kids were recording. And when you see, it's an eyesore. It's very sad. So I think, men, if we start thinking well,
so men are also suffering domestic violence.
Yes, that's true.
A lot of men are suffering domestic violence, but the problem is that men are not
speaking up.
When ladies are little, everywhere is on fire.
It's sad.
A man slaps a lady and everywhere is on fire. But when it's a man, no, it's not domestic violence. I don't know why it's like that. But that's topic for another day.
Yes, it is. The other one is a man who in Ghana worked hard and sent her wife abroad.
Yeah.
Whilst he was in Ghana, the wife sent money for the man to build house, making sure that the man registered the house in her name.
Okay.
Out of love, the man did exactly as the wife said. For so many years, the woman came back, kicked the man out of the house.
Okay.
Everything, and divorced the man. The court ruled in favor of the woman.
And the lady was the one that sent the man to the diaspora.
No. The man was in Ghana. The lady to the diaspora. The man sold all his vehicles and everything for the woman to survive there.
Yeah.
The woman started making money. The woman started sending money back home to Ghana for the man to build a house.
And the court ruled in favor of the
woman. Yes.
Yeah, because there's no evidence to show that it was the man that sent
and
the court was not wrong.
Out of love, the man went ahead and registered everything in the woman's name. Everything the woman asked the man to buy was in the woman's name.
Yeah.
So that's the first thing. You've lost everything from the beginning.
Yeah, but the property belongs to the lady because she's the one that is working.
Yes.
And sending the money.
Yes.
So the court was not right.
It was not wrong, all right, but the marriage broke apart.
Yeah, there are a lot of things. See, when one party is living in diaspora and the other one, there's a lot of things that are involved in it. Anybody that wants to learn or wants to understand will know that this is fact. If you live in the diaspora, your wife is not with you. Both of you are not moving together same day. Even if both of you are moving together, see, me, I'm not an advocate of men moving their wives or their ladies from Africa to the diaspora. I'm not an advocate of that. Something happened to a friend of mine that is very close to me. They were living in Nigeria, and the lady was having a good job. The guy was having a good job. After some time, the guy lost his job. The lady was still taking care of him very well. And then after some time, the guy picked up again and he had a better job. And the lady lost her own job. They were the best couple I knew at the time. And then after some time, they decided to move out of the country. And they traveled to the diaspora. When they got there, in less than, they had 3 kids. And they moved, they sold all their properties and left with the 3 kids. When they got there, after 4 months, the ladies changed her behavior. And before they know what's happening, the marriage is off. The lady saw another African guy that wants to marry her, from Ghana also, that wants to marry her. Because the guy was not having documents.
So the lady
was not having documents. So the lady decided to start fighting with the guy. And from there, they got the relationship problems. And they kicked the guy out of the house. And this other guy now came and was dating the lady. And after some time, then the lady found out that the guy that was promising to marry her is already married in Ghana.
Of course.
And then the guy opened up and said, I don't want to marry you. I was just having fun with you. You were just having fun with me. You made me to drive away my husband. And now the husband is out. The husband decided to go and get a job with the government, and they had to give him his residence. And they gave him passport.
So now the guy is a citizen now.
But the
of course, citizen. You go back home.
Now the lady is now running up and down. After some time, the family is now begging the guy to come back together so that the lady.
No, how do you recover from this? You can't. You can't.
But the man has two guys and one lady and one girl, 2 boys and one girl with her. So now that's the problem. Now that's why the guy is considering to take the lady back. Otherwise, the kids also will have problems also with their documents.
Let's be honest. Would you?
If I'm in the shoes of that guy, I will never. Instead, I send the kids back home.
Send the kids back home.
Of course, that's the only alternative. Instead of being with that kind of woman, that's a toxic woman already. Instead
Yes.
of being that, send the kids back home. Let them go and live in
Yeah,
Africa and then live their lives.
Recovering from such a situation,
It's so bad, so
it's
bad.
yeah.
A lot of guys are selling their properties in Africa, taking ladies
Just to
diaspora.
yes.
And I've observed that all the guys in Africa that have sold their property, no, let me not say all, sorry, not be a general statement. 90% of the guys that have sold all their belongings to take a woman to the diaspora or to move with their family to the diaspora, 90% of them are regretting that move. 90%. Because it's not always the way they plan it to be
Yes.
when they get there. And if the situation is still a bit good for them, in most cases, those ladies will start to misbehave. And those ladies end up bringing them down.
Why? The thing is, why are they misbehaving? Does it have anything to do with what they hear or the people they surround themselves with? Because equally, I know people who have actually survived it.
Yeah, but in most cases, what they do, when they go to the diaspora, they have different communities.
Oh, yeah.
And these ladies joins those communities.
Yeah.
Do you understand? When they join those communities, that their hometown community they join, there will be some ladies there that will be giving them wrong advice, giving them the wrong ideas to push. It happens. Something that your husband normally says when he was in Africa with you, your
now
husband
it becomes a problem.
It's not a problem. Now it's a problem. It's a very big problem.
We have similar situation in the Ghanaian communities in Europe, and it's very sad to admit, but it mostly starts from the church. So you go to a Ghanaian church or a Ghanaian congregation, and then you show up with your spouse, newlyweds, and you see these old women in their 40s and 50s who wasted their whole life and not having any spouse. They tend to start putting ideas in the young lady's mind.
Yeah.
And one such case, it was like this 50-year-old lady who has spent 20 years in Europe.
Yeah.
Met this young couple who just came some few months ago, and then you know how we Africans, we take our religion serious. We went to go to church, and then this guy and his wife went to church. Now this lady comes to tell the guy that, do you think this guy can take care of you? That's the seed she planted.
And the lady will start to think of it.
And then the same woman went to tell the man, don't you think this woman, she's more beautiful than someone you can afford? She planted another seed in the man's.
And that would be automatic problems.
It was just one sentence.
Yeah.
And that was how it started. That was how it started. They never knew peace. And they never traced back that it was that woman till it was too late. The marriage was falling apart. None of them misbehaved with other people like to say there's a legitimate reason why they separated, but the seed has been planted. The suspicion and doubt, the insecurity, it has been planted. So I always say, what you hear. And some people deliberately do that thing. And it's happening everywhere, even back home. You meet someone and then they just say one thing to you, and then your mind, you know how wonderful the mind works. It begins to think about all sorts of things, and then you start creating sort of ideas in your mind, and then it goes against you. You mess up your relationship by dwelling on that thing that has been said to you. But I wouldn't also say that people who travel abroad shouldn't join church or shouldn't join, communities, because
they should join community, but there are some
they should be they should be able to
community, not
community. Exactly.
A toxic community can ruin your life.
Your marriage, your life, and people have lost their lives. And this is a situation where blood brothers are enemies.
Yeah.
A situation, yes, because of what someone has said.
Yeah.
And I don't know what is wrong with Africans. We like to take people for what they've said. Yeah. We don't like to go and ask. We like hearsay so much.
Correct.
I used to think it was a Ghanaian thing.
Okay.
That Ghanaians hate to read. They like to hear what someone has said, and then they'll be like, oh, I heard this, and then they consider that as a truth.
Yeah.
But it's not. And apparently, most Africans do that.
True.
So they hear something about their brother, spouse, and then they take it out. Then they will not say anything, and they keep it, and it starts growing. And when you hear something, it affects your demeanor towards the person. Even though you've not told the person what you've heard, everything about you towards energy, everything changes, and people's lives are being ruined.
Yeah.
It's sad.
Africans, stop.
Yeah.
Africans, stop.
We should learn to confront our problems.
In the diaspora and going back home to take a wife. When you want to have fun in the diaspora, you have fun with the ladies in the diaspora. When you want to take a wife, you go back home to take a wife from your home country. The wives you have in your home country, they are not the best. They are not better than the ones in the diaspora. If you leave the ones in the diaspora because you think they are doing hookup or they are doing street job, I assure you, the ones you have back home are worst. The devil you know is better than the angel you don't know. Take that, do with it what you think is right. Ladies, if you think what I've said is correct, ladies in the diaspora, drop a comment. If you think I'm wrong, guys, drop a comment. Let's hear from you. Bro, what do you have to say about this?
Well, I agree with you. You see, there's a difference in being here and going back home to bring a wife to marry and bring, and there's a difference. Like, it's different from I went home and I met someone at home.
Yes.
We usually mix them up.
No, but even if you went home and
No.
you met someone at home,
Yes.
there's a place called ShopRite where ladies go and stand at
Of
night.
course, you
That's
didn't
what
go
you
there.
just met at home. You just met her in ShopRite, standing there.
There.
Do you understand?
I get you.
So, what do you have to say to the guys?
I think meet the woman who you would end up with on an equal playing field.
Yeah.
You don't have to go lower, not to say women whom are lower though, but you don't have to live where you are in hopes that the person whom you are going to bring is better. Because you don't know. What you see is what you get. You can make good use of what you are seeing. You can mold what you are seeing. You can reshape. You can teach what you are seeing. But what you've not seen, you just go and carry wahala for yourself.
Yeah, but even the one that they have been seeing back home. They have been seen back home, but they left and they traveled to the diaspora. And you've left that lady for 3 years or for 2 years or for even 6 months. Things has already gone wrong in 90% cases.
But there are some cases. Well, would agree that there are some cases.
That's why I said 90% cases. The other 10% cases, okay, the lady might be waiting. But in 90% cases, you are not the most handsome guy. If you are making money and you are sending back home, you are investing in somebody else. Many ladies, you see, they take the money from you, they give to another man. They are taking money from you in the diaspora and giving it to another man. A lot of ladies back home are doing this. Yes. A lot. They have another boyfriend that you are. You in the diaspora, you are an ATM machine. So you are the one bringing the money and they are withdrawing to pay the one back home. Do you understand? And this is the circle. So that's why you find out that a lot of guys, they go to the diaspora 10 years, 20 years in the diaspora, 5 years, they have not done anything because they are funding a ladies' bill that is funding another man.
Karma will deal with them.
But that is the problem with karma.
Of course, it takes too long.
Does not happen in our lifetime.
Well,
that is the problem.
And the karma
doesn't.
Karma
can happen tomorrow. Everybody will adjust. But people do things and they say, "Don't worry." Think of karma like this. If there's anything like karma happening, all the bad presidents that have ruled Africa over the years, what has happened to them?
Well,
that is why I say there's no karma. There's no karma. Anybody that's waiting for karma is just wasting his
time.
Whatever you have to do it now. Whatever problem you have to solve, if you have a solution, please do now. If you talk about karma, if there's karma, the wrong president that have been ruling Africa, nobody will be ruling Africa in the wrong way. So with this, we've come to the end of this podcast. If you have any question for him, please drop on the comment section, and then we come back to answer you if need be. What's your TikTok, YouTube, or Facebook, Instagram?
Nee Ludwig, NII_Ludwig, doctor. So doctor_Nee Ludwig.
Okay, guys, follow him on TikTok, on Instagram, and then any other social media platform you can find him. Send your comment and let's hear from you, and let's come back and talk about it. Catch you on the next one. Peace out.